Starting off with number 10, activism. Many people started to believe Meghan's actions are more performative than true advocacy. If you want to go and do something to help an underdeveloped region, is it necessary to bring cameras with you to record you doing a good deed? Meghan might be onto something, and we're starting to think the bigger picture is to show people she is a good person who helps others while simultaneously using her status to get her way. Other times the cameras have been an issue is during the Docu Series when the couple was called out for using a royal family approved picture of them walking to prove a point about them being hounded by paparazzi. On top of all this, Harry drew a comparison between Meghan and his mother, the late Princess Diana, which, you guessed it, rubbed people the wrong way. It caused an outrage, with some calling the comparison disgraceful and disrespectful, but the tea is that the use of these clips has led several former royal aides to hit out at Harry and Meghan, according to The Telegraph, who say the couple did not experience any incidents of press intrusion in any way comparable to Diana. Number 9, acting. Now, we all know Meghan was an actress before she stepped down to become an activist and the Duchess of Sussex. So we can't help but wonder why her reasoning to step down from royalty had to do with an overwhelming amount of media attention when she was subject to that throughout her acting career. What are your thoughts on this? Is it valid, or do you think she's lying and hiding something? Number 8, the Docu Series. We have all seen, or at least heard about, the 6-part Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, and let me tell you, the tea on these two, especially Meghan, is hotter than ever. While it was back in 2020 that the couple stepped down from the throne to live a life away from the royal responsibilities to have a quiet and normal life, we can't help but question why everything they've been doing is the exact opposite of quiet. The internet has been up in flames over Meghan's behavior in the docuseries, and some feel as if it should just be titled Meghan because of her dramatic approach to topics that some do not feel deserved a whole series, especially if they wanted a life away from the press and media. Body language experts have revealed that Meghan's behaviors and actions show her as a manipulative narcissist who is using Harry's vulnerability against him and controlling him to do everything she wants. Others believe she wanted to step away from the royals because she was unable to control the narrative of the British press. That is some drama, but let me know what you think in the comments. On to number 7, not caring to learn about the royal life. During an interview with Oprah, Meghan claimed she knew nothing about the life she was set to live with the love of her life, Prince Harry. But according to a well-placed source, that was a blatant lie. Prince Harry and brother William's private secretary at the time had created an organized folder with information and contacts to help Meghan in this transition into royal life, but clearly she didn't care to learn any of it, and on top of that, accused the palace of not directing her through this journey. Sounds like a you problem, Meghan. Another lie she had orchestrated was about not having her niece invited to the wedding, which she had said was guidance through the palace, when in reality the press team was desperate for Meghan to have more family and friends at the wedding, but she simply didn't want Ashley exposed to the media. Number 6, back to the Oprah interview. After the infamous Oprah interview dropped back in 2021, the couple has been accused of prolific lying, with lies being told about racism, among other things. People can't help but wonder what is the truth and what is being exaggerated. After getting an award for heroism, royal expert Angela Veen has spoken about how they did not deserve it because of the things that were said in the interview. If you haven't watched the interview, there have been endless criticisms on many things that have happened throughout the interview, from questionable body language to overdramatic recalls of personal situations. She brought up how she hasn't gotten any help with her mental health, which many were also quick to call out by saying that was fake news. I mean, Meghan, how many times do you plan on talking about your life that you so badly want to keep private and to yourself? But number 5, mockery. Meghan mocking royal traditions. Now, as many know, there is a scene in the series that shows Meghan doing an overly dramatic take of the royal curtsy she was to do when she met the Queen. As she's laughing it up, Look over to Harry and notice his reaction. He's staring at her as if he's annoyed with her mocking something that is part of his tradition. Interesting. Seeing as he is uncomfy by the mockery, it is definitely not a good look for Meghan at all. Other than the mockery, there have been several instances where Meghan chose to do what she preferred rather than respecting the rules of the royal family. Meghan's critics would say it was presumptuous of her to think that the centuries-old monarchy would suddenly change up its operations because of a newcomer. Meghan is not known to be someone who is going to change herself just to please the people around her. There was a conversation where Meghan had to be reminded that she and Harry were not as high on the royal hierarchy because Harry is only 6th in line to the throne, while William will become king. Number 4, natural for Meghan, uncomfy for Harry. Being an actress, Meghan appears to understand the media attention. Since she, along with the rest of the world, knows that Harry has vocalized his dislike for the media attention, there are theories that Meghan is loving it. To be fair, Prince Harry has gotten much more attention throughout his life, so she has to remain on the same page as Harry and make sure the public can see she isn't liking it either. Number 3, political. Protocol says no politics. William is doing bits in making a difference even from his political views, but when Meghan does it, the media goes crazy. Sounds fair. On the royal couple's website, Archwell, a picture is posted with Meghan Markle showing off her voting sticker to urge Americans to vote on midterm election day in November 2022. The royal family members are supposed to be neutral in elections, so this is seen as a savage move since she is now part of the family. Number 2, no name tag. The annual royal race in Ascot has very strict dress code requirements. The female visitors of this prestigious event have to choose dresses with closed shoulders that are at least knee length. They're also supposed to wear elegant hats and special branded name tags. But during the 2018 race, Meghan Markle ignored these requirements for her name tag. Unlike other guests, the Duchess of Sussex didn't put a badge on her dress, but kept it in her hand instead. By the way, the only member of the royal family that doesn't have to wear a name tag is Queen Elizabeth. And number 1, breaking protocols. Here is an extensive list of times Meghan simply decided to not follow protocol. She has worn dresses of a shorter length than other royal members usually wear. The couple's wedding was not on a weekday, which is royal tradition. While on their South African tour, the couple made a request to only be referred to as Harry and Meghan instead of with their royal titles, and the two of them are regularly seen showing PDA, such as hugging and holding hands in photographs taken by paparazzi. She wore Dior to Archie's christening, even though the royal mother typically wears a piece by a British designer. The couple announced baby Archie's birth on the gram, even though traditionally the news of a royal baby is shared on a ceremonial easel outside of Buckingham Palace. Another real part of the royal family is not to voice any political views, but of course, Meghan has done that too.
Number 10, the cuts. Meghan Markle wasn't afraid to stand up for herself and her family in her controversial interview with The Cut. Her words struck a chord, making it New York's magazine's most read piece of the year. But that didn't stop Matt Donnelly from Variety questioning Meghan about the backlash it had caused. When he suggested it was snarky, Meghan quickly shut him down, explaining how toxic the environment she and Harry were living in before their departure from the British royal family. The Duchess of Sussex took aim at The Cuts and the interviewer, Alison P. Davis, claiming that she had been too trusting and open during the chat, adding that the interview was only ever meant to focus on her podcast and her and Harry's other projects. But that was not how the interview was perceived at all. Number 9, shapeshifting. We might never know if Meghan Markle had some form of Mexit in her mind when she married Prince Harry, but according to someone who knows her personally, shedding her skin and starting over is a habit of hers. Writing for Talter, Shanann Giovanni, who hosted Markle for dinner during her Suits days, claimed, "Something that has stayed with me, especially post-Mexit, is that Meghan is no stranger to picking up and reinventing herself. Both a go-getter as well as a shapeshifter, she returns now with more special mojo than she could have ever imagined then." By March 2020, Markle was already unleashing that social mojo on Los Angeles, where she and Harry moved after leaving Canada behind. The Sussexes were previously mocked when the prince was filmed asking Disney CEO to cast Meghan Markle in something. You know she does voiceovers, the prince reportedly said. Later reports suggested that the actress had instructed her agent to find her a role in a superhero movie. It seems as though Meghan Markle was making herself at home, but how was Harry handling it? Was the royal keeping up with his shape-shifting wife? I don't know, his career is going to map out. Dr. Jane Goodall, a famous primatologist and a good friend of Harry's, told the Radio Times that April, "I've been in touch, though I think he's finding life a bit challenging." Number 8, the aftermath of the Docu Series. Harry and Meghan's comments and royal attacks during their Docu Series were absolutely insane, with one TV host even suggesting they constituted treason. A GB News host was so outraged that she called for a national referendum to get the couple stripped of all their titles, including Harry's birthright as a prince. She called the docuseries disgraceful, adding, "I would go as far as to say they are committing treason." The host was so angry that Meghan made it all about race, claiming the only reason why people don't like this woman is frankly because of the way she behaved and the awful things she said. This woman is delusional, self-obsessed, and she's dragging Harry down with her. And frankly, they are a disgrace to this country. Fellow GB News host Dan Wootton called it the couple's most disgraceful propaganda yet. In a gutless roundabout way, Prince Harry has just accused Prince William of bullying him out of the royal family. This Netflix series isn't just a delusional fantasy of victimhood, but it's the end of his relationship with his own brother. He tweeted, "Princess Diana would be devastated," he claimed of the brother's late mom. Number 7, lies. Meghan Markle tears up over how hard she worked to fit in before stepping back from her royal duties in January 2020. "I tried so hard," the Suits alumni says in the second half of Harry and Meghan, which dropped on Netflix. "That's the piece that's so triggering," she continues, "because it still wasn't good enough and you still don't fit in." She described living in England, saying in the docuseries that a man overseeing the plane's crew took his hat off and shared his appreciation for everything she did for the country. The Duchess of Sussex remembers, "It was the first time that I felt like someone saw the sacrifice, not for my own country, for this country. It's not mine." When the couple landed in Canada, Markle says she collapsed into the arms of one of Prince Harry's longtime security guards. Meghan Markle shares that she then told her husband's employee that she tried so hard, to which he replied, "I know you did. I know you did, ma'am. I know you did." After their Canada move, people believe all this is false, lies, and believe she knew exactly what she was doing. What do you think? Number 6, crying on demand. Meghan revealed how she owned her acting ability to turn on fake tears. The 2014 video filmed at Soho House in Toronto, where her legal drama Suits was made, shows Meghan boasting that she can shed a tear for the camera in 3 seconds. Asked by someone behind the camera if she can make herself cry, Meghan says, "Oh, I can do that so well. Oh my gosh, it's crazy." They're like, "Meghan, 1 tear, left eye, go." She adds, "Give me 3 seconds." Social media users are asking whether Meghan's distress in the Netflix teaser is real. One Twitter user wrote, "I swear Meghan asked her magic mirror who is the fairest of them all, and it said Kate, so she lost her mind." Football player Jack Barrett of North Warwick simply wrote, "Crocodile tears." Royal fan and retired nurse Bernadette Sasson told Twitter, "MM was/is an actress. Not a great one, just passable, but she can make herself cry at the drop of a hat." Number 5, the iconic Oprah interview. Oprah's headline-making interview of Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, and her husband Prince Harry was nothing less than explosive. In the interview, Meghan said she endured constant life-ending thoughts and that no one in the palace would help her. She and Harry said a royal family member expressed concern about how dark baby Archie's skin color might be. Harry said his father, Prince Charles, wouldn't take his phone calls for a while and cut him off from royal money. The two said the palace cut them off from royal protection despite death threats, some based on Meghan being biracial. It was a grim 2-hour recitation that sent American Twitter racing to fight British Twitter after it was over. Many royal experts and journalists claim that all of this is false and that Meghan never had mental health issues and that her body language showed in the interview that she was not telling the truth. Number 4, royal fixation. Apparently, Meghan always wanted one thing in life, and that was to become a member of the British royal family. Now, she's never confirmed that, but her friends say that she always had a fascination with the royals. According to some sources, this was all a part of Meghan's plan. She wanted to be a princess since she was a teenager. Her old pal once said she was always fascinated by the royal family and that she wanted to be Princess Diana 2.0. Coming in at number 3, LA life. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle took the ultimate gamble by stepping back from royal life and moving abroad. But an insider revealed to the new idea the Sussexes' move to LA has completely backfired, and as a result, the pair are struggling to get along behind closed doors. Things are bad, the insider claimed. They fight and bicker constantly. After openly struggling with royal life, the couple's highly publicized decision to pursue an independent life was meant to make for a happier existence. But despite now living in the lap of luxury in a $27.5 million Beverly Hills mansion, an insider alleged the Los Angeles move has caused a strain on their 2-year marriage. According to the insider, the problem stemmed from the hopes Meghan had of being warmly welcomed back into Hollywood life and her belief that the red carpet would be rolled out literally upon her return. This, however, hasn't panned out due to the pandemic. She feels extremely slighted that it hasn't worked out that way. This, however, hasn't panned out due to the pandemic. She feels extremely slighted that it hasn't worked out. The source said Meghan is the type of person who thinks nothing can get in her way, even the global pandemic. The source also claimed that the actress is growing increasingly frustrated with her husband Harry due to his failure to assimilate into Hollywood life. She blames the fact that Harry is more than happy to be a homebody, playing with Archie and her daughter and the dogs, and generally taking a breather when he should be networking, hustling on the phone or video calls 24/7 like she is. Coming in at number 2, Jeremy Kyle. The Queen's health was raised as a point of concern by Jeremy Kyle while he slammed Meghan Markle for timing her announcements to be as embarrassing as possible for the royal family. A direct quote from Jeremy Kyle on Pierre Morgan's Talk TV show let me know your thoughts on this accusation. He argued, I'll say it again, if you don't want to be in the royal family because you don't want the press exposure and you don't like every facet of your life being interrogated, I get that. You go to California with the love of your life and you have 2 children. You don't land and sign a deal with Spotify, and this is the bit that really gets on my bits. If I'm being completely honest, every single time there's something that matters to the royal family like this, the passing of Prince Philip today is the 25th anniversary of Princess Diana's, what does Meghan Markle do? Drop her latest truth bomb. His words are an effort to point out the trend he sees of Meghan Markle stealing the spotlight. I won't say my opinion, but instead ask for your help. Let me know down below as I enjoy reading your comments. Number 1, Mexits. Never mind Brexit, now it's Mexits. Everyone was shouting about this in the United Kingdom. Who is to blame for the shocker decision of Prince Harry and Duchess Meghan of Sussex to step back from their roles as senior members of the royal family? In Britain, the answer from major swaths of the media, from some commentators on social media, and from scores of royal sources whispering in ears, it's pretty clear. Blame Meghan. Now cast as the driving force behind the couple's move to create new royal rules for themselves within the family and to split their time between the UK and North America. Is it Meghan's fault? It's hard to escape the conclusion that having grown up in a country that considers the Kennedys to be so grand, Meghan didn't understand that being a Windsor is not like being a celebrity, commented Virginia Blackburn in the tabloid Express. Unpleasant comparisons are being made.
Coming at number 10, Prince Harry is preparing his memoir with stories being completely different from the ones being released as part of the docuseries. That sounds really suspicious. As they're working on making amends, they've apparently changed their mind about airing the family's dirty laundry. But that's not all. They've also knowingly or unknowingly mixed up some of their story details. The insider claimed a lot in the show contradicted what Harry has written, so that was an issue. Harry and Meghan are having second thoughts on their own story on their own project, another Netflix source said. Sources say that Harry and Meghan had made significant requests about toning down the content they had initially provided, but were denied because of how late in the process they had done it. So are we getting some real juicy insight on what goes on behind closed doors? And if so, how accurate is it? There are always two sides to a coin. Depending on how biased the docuseries will be, viewers may or may not have different perceptions on the couple and royal family. In number 9, in the teaser, Harry is accusing his family of leaking and planting stories in the media. The 63-second clip is accused of painting a false picture. One of the scenes shows Harry expressing his concern over Meghan being treated like his late mother, Princess Diana. "I was terrified. I don't want history to repeat itself." While explaining how they have been hounded by the media, viewers seem to notice that the photograph they've used over the scene was of former model Katie Price leaving Crawley Magistrates Court from last December, an unrelated issue to what is being discussed. Viewers also noticed the image was flipped to show a different angle. This does not seem like a good look for the couple, hours before the release of their highly controversial Netflix docuseries. Coming in number 8, the series gives the impression that a photographer secretly photographed the couple with son Archie inside a private home. But witnesses have said that the photographer had been granted official access in advance. Robert Jobson, the royal editor for the London Evening Standard, said he was there when the photograph in question was taken and that the angle was an accredited position that Harry and Meghan had agreed on. This photograph used by Netflix, Harry and Meghan, to suggest intrusion by the press is a complete travesty, Jobson wrote. It was taken from an accredited pool at Archbishop Tutu's residence in Cape Town. Only 3 people were in the accredited position. H&M agreed to the position, and I was there. This lies enough to discredit the allegations and stories being told in the docuseries because it makes Harry and Meghan look like they're reaching the blind stories to victimize themselves based on facts that are not 100% true. 7th on the list of top 10 lies being revealed before the release of the docuseries, Pierre Morgan, British podcaster, addresses the issues he has with the Duke and Duchess through his tweets about the first look at the upcoming series. After feeling exploited over having his soundbite used in the series, a trail of tweets followed, and here are some juicy ones showing how passionate Morgan felt about the series. Slamming Prince Harry for waging a relentless, vicious public war against his own family, Morgan called the royal a deluded, spoiled, manipulated brat. The 6th lie on the list of top 10 being discovered from the trailer is another photograph showing press bombarding a car with a follow-up image of Meghan wiping tears from her eyes. To emphasize the point of Meghan being bombarded by photographers, viewers notice that the picture used is from Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, in the vehicle. So if they're using false proof to clarify their points, how true are they going to be in the series? Ingrid Seward, editor-in-chief of Majesty magazine, said, "The inaccurate photographs undermine the validity of what Harry and Meghan are trying to say. It makes them the object of ridicule. If you are going to criticize the monarchy, you have to make sure everything you say or do is absolutely correct." Host of the Megyn Kelly show, Kelly, had a lot to say about the series as well. There are at least 3 other shots in that trailer of them getting mobbed by the press, which had absolutely nothing to do with them, she said. 5th on the list of lies being revealed before the release of the docuseries, as if using one picture of a model completely unrelated to the issue is not enough, another one of the pictures used to show Harry and Meghan hounded by the press in the trailer was actually taken at a film premiere 5 years before they had even met. Pierre Morgan exposed a paparazzi photo used in the trailer was actually from a Harry Potter premiere and not of photographers following the couple in their private lives. They already tell yet another lie in the first trailer with the Harry Potter paparazzi shot, Morgan wrote. It is understood that no members of the royal family attended the premiere. Instead, the photo appears first under search results for paparazzi on the stock image website. Royal expert Ingrid Seward commented how Netflix's careless efforts weakened Harry's comment about protecting his family. This fake picture weakens his point. On to the 4th lie being discovered within the docuseries. A source told the British paper that palace insiders were seething with rage at allegations made in the forthcoming docuseries. The trailer was also slammed by online trolls who called the series hypocritical. In a conversation with Sky News Australia's Paul Murray, Megyn Kelly mentioned mentioned her perspective on the bullying allegations, how they were coming out from the abandonment of her friends and family, her wedding peppered by only celebrities and no one who actually knew or loved her. They've lost 14 staffers, top staffers, in the past few years. That's not normal to lose 14, especially at that level when you're royal. People probably really want to work for you. One internet user voiced their opinion on the trailer by saying, "I love the part where Harry and Meghan write a letter making it clear that the monarchy is a horribly oppressive system." This outrage has caused former employees to voice their frustration with NDAs that limit them from saying anything about the lies in the Netflix docuseries. One of the palace staffers said, "She knows we can't financially protect ourselves by going to court, so she keeps pushing. It's all a game for her, and she's loving it," they said. "I certainly have chosen to remain silent out of respect for the crown, but if they keep attacking us and our characters, reputation, etc., we need to feel we are equally supported by the royal family." Many have known Meghan Markle from when she was once part of the acting industry, which after a certain point is known to give one a lot of media attention. So after vocalizing concerns over needing privacy as a royal, many people seem to feel as if it was an unreasonable demand for Meghan, especially during all the controversies, all while including an inside look on their life as royals, which is to be featured with never-before-seen pictures of the family. Afterwards, Meghan tried to reiterate her feeling of needing privacy and how it's a basic human right. She stated how she should be able to share parts of her life in her control, not in the media's control. Pierre Morgan had more to say about the trailer. "Imagine bleating about privacy than doing a kiss and tell reality series about your private lives. Then imagine preaching compassion as you trash your family again. Then imagine releasing the first trailer deliberately to ruin your brother's big trip to America. Repulsive hypocrites." Morgan expressed his support for the royal family and distaste for how Harry and Meghan are handling their drama. British podcaster Pierre Morgan was very vocal when it came to accusing Harry and Meghan of lying. You may remember in the Oprah Winfrey Wine-a-thon, about 17 different things that came out of their mouths were quickly proven to be untrue. And we're at it again with the Netflix documentary. He claimed the couple now ruthlessly exploits their titles as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex for hundreds of millions of dollars. During the interview, she had brought up that she and Prince Harry shared their vows in their backyard with the Archbishop of Canterbury, who had refuted the claims, saying the wedding was celebrated on the 19th of May, the day of their marriage, which was also publicly televised. As Prince Harry talks about the hierarchy in the video, he says, "You know there's leaking, but there's also planning of stories. No one knows the full truth. We know the full truth." Do we believe them? Let me know what your thoughts are on this docuseries in the comments below. More unwanted attention on the family with the show The Crown, based on stories from the royal family, is also receiving backlash on a storyline about the affair between Prince Philip and friend Penny Natchville, which is believed to be insensitive following the passing of Queen Elizabeth II in September. All of this exposure is just another reason to have us kick back and remain so invested in this English drama. For now, we can only interpret small parts of the docuseries through the trailer and by others' opinions on the matter. But once it's released, we'll have a better insight of the story as told from Harry and Meghan. If you're tuning in, let me know in the comments. Starting off with number 10, short temper. Meghan and Harry's whirlwind romance has been in the spotlight pretty much since they got together. With fans and haters watching their every move, this couple is used to getting lots of attention, whether they like it or not. When Harry got with Meg, people started watching Meghan like a hawk, dissecting her every move. Naturally, when you're part of the royals, people are gonna be more inclined to know what you're like. As someone part of the royal family, displaying strong emotions is not necessarily expected, especially in a public setting. After being invited as a guest speaker at the Power of Women charity benefit, Meghan seemed irritated after pictures of her were published where she was seen lashing out at an employee in the parking garage. Pictures published in the Daily Mail show her looking pretty ticked off while pointing directly at someone. Some believe she was scolding one of her employees, while others say she was letting a parking attendant have it. As a person, I feel like keeping your cool in inconvenient situations, but as a royal, I think Meghan should have been more mindful of her position and the amount of eyes on her. But hey, there's always more to a story, right? And it's hard to figure it out with pictures out of context. Number 9, complaining. During the royal tours, the smiles and nice photos covered up the behind the scenes of the royal tour, which was apparently a nightmare. This tour is an amazing time to empower others and be a good role model as a royal. It's tradition and is keen for the royal family to build good relations and also good for publicity. Only issue? Meghan didn't see the importance in that and has been quoted on multiple occasions by staff for saying, "I can't believe I'm not getting paid for this." Meghan, you got to travel the world and be treated royally. Is that not enough? I get time is money, but if you're doing it for the man you love and his family, Wouldn't you just want to do it for him instead of for personal gain? Number 8, abrasive. Meghan was accused of abrasive behavior towards staff members and diplomats, according to the explosive royal biography. Looking back at the Sussexes' visit to Sydney, Australia, where they received an amazing reception, Bauer writes Meghan was allegedly abrasive towards her 4 female staff and even towards the local British diplomats. According to one report, Meghan allegedly threw a cup of tea into the air. Not the tea. He continued by saying that her anger may have been partly fueled by Harry. Every night, him and Meghan turned on their phones to surf the internet. That doesn't sound very healthy to me. Australia, as covered in past videos, didn't seem to be as fun as the couple may have hoped, and it's been reported they were feeling down in the down under. Number 7, dad drama. Similar to Harry, Meghan too has some daddy issues. Meghan has been part of quite a few scandals within her family, and if you've been keeping up with her, you would know how deep the drama runs. Meghan had written a private letter to her dad pleading with him to stop cooperating with the press. In it, Meghan says she felt absolutely blindsided by the pain her father was puppeteered into creating by the media. She said that the lies her father was spreading about her with the help of the media have broken her heart into a million pieces. She begged Thomas to stop lying, exploding her relationship with Harry, and stop taking the bait from the press, but he did the exact opposite. Thomas sold the letter to the Mail, and the site published it for the world to see even more Markle family secrets. Yikes. The Duchess later sued Associated Newspapers Limited, owners of the site, for breach of privacy and won. Number 6, sister drama. And that isn't the only member of Meghan's family who has been problematic. Her sister Samantha Markle admitted she was being paid for press. I'll let her words speak for herself in this one. I worked in media most of my life and in broadcasting, so because my sister is suddenly royal isn't grounds for me to stop doing all that. Let's face it, we all have to survive. Money makes the world go round, so if you want to call that cashing in, that's fine, but I think no one in the media would refuse a paycheck for talking about the royals as a family. We're not subject to royal protocol. Why would I stop living because we have a family issue going on? Considering the two sisters have never had the greatest relationship, I'm not surprised that she has no problem throwing Meghan under the bus, but I just feel like she could have had a bit more class rather than making these desperate attempts to cash in. Number 5, ditching friends for royal status. Is Meghan ditching her friends for royal status? A former friend and colleague who said Meghan ghosted her was Gina Nelthorpe-Crown, who found the future Duchess to be hugely charismatic when they first met in 2014. Nelthorpe-Crown said she last heard from Meghan when she was giving up her career and terminating her contract. Meghan likes to move on, Nelthorpe-Crown told the Daily Mail. Ouch. Meghan felt no type of way letting go of her former friends. It seems as if a couple people have claimed that she cut them off as soon as she and Harry became serious. But at the same time, if Meghan knew these people would share her business, then it would only be safer and easier for her to keep her distance from them. Clearly they're still talking about her and airing out her past even though she doesn't talk to them anymore. Did the Duchess make the right decision? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Number 4, not on good terms with the in-laws. When news of Harry and Meghan's move out of Kensington Palace to strike out on their own first broke out in November of 2018, the public and the press came to a unanimous conclusion as to why that would be. Meghan. Everyone pointed the fingers at the new royal, suggesting her alleged difficult Duchess attitude was not just reserved for her staff and had caused a feud between her and Kate. Obviously, all that turned out to be untrue. The Sussexes were expecting a baby and wanted more space than the 2-bedroom apartment they lived in at Kensington Palace. Kate and Meg have always had problems. It came out in November that there was a ton of tension between the royal family as Kate and Meghan were not getting along. This meant that Prince Harry and Prince William were not getting along, and the whole family was just not seeing eye to eye. That was super hard on everyone, but especially the late Queen. Queen Elizabeth was actually so fed up with the drama, she made Kate and Meghan sit down and sort it out. On to number 3, doing what she wants. It seems like Meghan was trying to make a point by going to vote even though royals are forbidden to do so. After she posted a picture of her wearing a sticker indicating that she had gone to vote, it was not well received in the UK, and even though she is no longer an official member of the royal family, she is not permitted to abide by those laws, but it definitely is savage of her to do this knowingly since she's married into the family. Many others were not surprised at this act because she had been known to be an activist and stands firmly in everything she believes in. So for her to continue being the same way and not conforming to the laws of a country she wasn't even born in, not the worst thing in the world. What do you think? Did Meghan take it too far by publicizing her choice to vote? And number 2, mistreating staff. Leading up to the Oprah interview, The Times reported accusations that Meghan mistreated her palace aides and staff prior to the 2020 exit. While Meghan denied the allegations, noting in a statement to Us in March 2021 that she was saddened by the latest attack on her character, the palace revealed that they were investigating the claims. We are clearly very concerned about allegations in the Times following claims made by former staff of the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, the statement read. It continues on by saying that the HR team will look into the circumstances and members of staff will be invited to participate to see if lessons can be learned. And finally, number 1, warning for the media outlets. A lot of observers are assuming that Harry and Meghan have something to hide by fighting so hard against the media and filing lawsuits as often as they do. They suggest that Meghan and Harry are attempting to alert the media in advance that they are willing to face legal action in the event that a significant story emerges. But what do you think? Is there something this couple is actively trying not to have expose of them? Or are they simply annoyed with the outlets and aren't shy to set boundaries around what stories they think should or shouldn't be shared? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, but that is all for today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more juicy royal news. And I'll catch you next time on The Rich Life.